Welcome back for another day. I am Zero, and just to show y'all something today, I thought this was really cool. This is a player online counter. So if you see on the scoreboard where it says online, 1 out of 100, this is a system that I'm using to track 100 players. I ended up using a little bit of dakonblackrose's design, mixed in a little bit with my own ingenuity, considering all the systems that I had seen only offered for realms, which was taking a comparator output from a command block, testing for X amount of players. Well, the problem with that is if you're like me and you're running a Bedrock dedicated server and you want more than 15 players to show that they're online, that method just doesn't work. So what I've done, and let me show you just it works real quick. Let me log in with an alt account. Alright, I'm logging in now. And you see as I come online, it just removed an armor stand, and now it is showing 2 people are online. Now I have actually tested this using a manual method to make sure that they all work, that there's no conflicts anywhere in it, and there's not. So let's go to the very beginning on how this actually works. So to begin with, what I'm actually doing is a very simple task. Come down into here. I've got a command block, executing, repeat, always active, testing for myself. So the next thing that I have on the very outside is set a redstone block. And I'll show you in just a second where that's at. And there's a comparator output going into a sticky piston, which powers this one to set a redstone block, same as this one to set a redstone block. Okay, so this farthest outside one that activates whenever I come online sets a redstone block right there. And it activates this, which is a command block that has a little more of an interesting command sequence in it than normal. So it's execute add entities. So the C is telling it that it can only select one. And it's locked in with the XYZ from where it starts to execute it. So the directional X is set at 0, directional Y is set at 0, and directional Z is telling it that it can go up to 110 blocks away. Testing for an armor stand. So type equals armor stand, name is the name of the armor stand, what I use as the name tag. Tilde, 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 so I've already specified what the X, Y, and Z that I want it to start at in the execute command. So now TP at entity type equals armor stand, name equals PC0, C equals 1, so now still again it's telling it that it can only select one. So tilde, tilde, -3, so it's going to drop the armor stand down 3 blocks, and then a tilde again. So that's the command that it executes every single time that a player comes online. So to show you real quick on this one, this is real quick telling it, oh, let me go back to the very beginning. So this right here is scoreboard players set online, several spaces so I can get my spacing right. 1 out of 100, and then it's putting to my scoreboard objective and setting the score of 1. This one over here It's the same thing except for reset, and it's resetting it so it pulls it off the scoreboard completely. This next one, the first command that it will execute, once the armor stand is gone, the scoreboard players reset online, 1 out of 100, and then it will execute a command of scoreboard players set online 2 out of 100, and it's going to put that at a score of 1. So if you look beside the online 1 out of 101, so that's where the position that it's staying in my scoreboard. So now on this side, if that armor stand comes back up and hits on the pressure plate, it's going to power this command block on the bottom. So it's an impulse command block that it's going to power, and it will reset the 2 out of 100, and it will set it back to 1 out of 100. So just again, this real quick. So you need to stagger these. If you don't stagger these, this will end up powering the next block beside it. So make sure that you stagger them. I tried to have them all in a line, and yeah, it just didn't work. So I staggered them like that just to use 2 repeaters coming out to power the block that the torch is on, which depowers the torch, and then it depowers this side. So as long as there's an armor stand on here, it will keep the torch depowered. As soon as the armor stand comes off of it, it depowers the repeaters, powers the torch on, and activates those. So it's basically just swapping back and forth between each side. And the same as that, as each of these command blocks, it goes all into a sequence. So that one resets 2, and then sets 3. You come to this side. Alright, it resets 3 and sets 2 back. So what one side does, the other side does the opposite. Alright, so now we come over to this side. This side is for when the armor stand where it drops down to. So right here. Same command again, except for this time I've lowered the Y level. So the Y is set at 45. And then the directional Z is -110. So now I'm going back the opposite direction. So it's execute at E, bracket C equals 1, X equals 1298, Y equals 45. So I'm telling it can only look at the 45 level so that I'm not picking up the armor stands from above. So the directional X is 0, directional Y is 0, directional Z again is -110, type equals armor stand, name equals PC0, tilde, 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 TP at E, type equals armor stand, name equals PC0, C equals 1. It's telling it can only select one armor stand to TP. Tilde, tilde 8. So now I'm telling it, instead of going down, I'm telling it to send the armor stand up, and then tilde. So, and then these top blocks, all they do is just set the redstone block back to air, so it resets the system, so the next time somebody comes online, it can power it back again. So real quick, I'm gonna log in my alt back online. Alright, so the alt comes online and it drops the armor stand down here. So that command that I just put down there, that's what brings the armor stand down. And now, as you can see, it shows online 2 out of 10. Now I'm going to log out and you'll see the armor stand come back up. And it drops it straight down. So as soon as I leave with my alt, the armor stand comes back on and powers this side, which tells it to set it back to only 1. And as soon as the armor stand leaves off, this one tells it to go to 2. Alright, so this block on top, the chain block that's set to always active unconditional chain, just sets the block sets 2 blocks below it to air. This one again, that is the command. If you have any questions about how to actually set this up, I'm going to leave my Discord link in the description. If you run into any issues trying to set it up, don't hesitate to ask me. I will be glad to help you. Just reach out. I'll help you out getting it set up. And then again, on the commands that this does, this one right here that doesn't have a redstone block underneath it, it's the one setting the redstone block to the lower set, which tells it to reset and remove the armor stand from the lower set and put it back to the top. This one sets the redstone block up top where it tells it to drop the armor stand down to add another player. And all this repeating command block is testing for myself or whatever player that you put in. Say for instance, if I'm testing for Kermie, it's going to be testing for well, let me turn that to always active. So it's going to be testing for Kermie 9. I will be doing a video on this here shortly, which this is just the timer system that you see where it says Envoy at 3 hours and 31 minutes, and I will be doing a video on this Envoy system right here, which this Envoy system is kind of crazy. It took me 3 days to actually figure it all out and to get it built to where it didn't break and it worked every single time. So I will be doing a video on that very soon. It's gonna take me quite a while to get all of this into a video because this system has a lot of moving parts. But until next time, I am Zero. I will have my Twitch link down in the description. I will have my Discord link down in the description. Like I said, if you have any issues, if you want to catch me live on Twitch and ask them there, you can ask them there. If you have any issues whatsoever, you can also reach me on the Discord channel. Thanks again. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And if there's anything that you want to see, leave a comment